Moore. And so at this point in time, with the matter having been on the calendar at 10:30 a.m., it's now 12:04 p.m. Given that Mr. Sherman Moore has not appeared in person for this hearing, pursuant to the rules for infractions in Washington courts, the court will find that Mr. Moore has failed to appear and will enter a finding of committed to each of the 5 infractions. Mr. Moore, you can come forward, sir.
Quite fast.
Yeah.
Record.
Oh, okay. Are you Sherman Moore?
I am not.
You're not. Okay. And so are you appearing on Mr. Moore's behalf?
Yes.
Okay.
I am yes, here for that matter to handle the matter that's at hand.
Okay. And are you an attorney, sir?
I am the attorney, in fact, for the said name at hand here.
Okay. So you are an attorney representing Sherman Moore?
Yes, I will be handling the case for Mr. Moore.
Okay. And are you licensed by the state of Washington to practice as an attorney?
I am not licensed or a bar member or a lawyer or anything of the such, but I am here as a beneficiary executor for the said name.
Okay. Before I respond, let me see if the city takes any position. Mr. Gunderson, is the city taking any position on the representation of Mr. Moore in this matter? Actually, I don't even know if you're appearing on behalf of the city in this matter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Will Gunderson, prosecuting for the city. Your Honor, the city does typically appear for the contested hearings in which officers have been subpoenaed.
Was an officer subpoenaed in this matter?
Yes. Your Honor, the officer is present. Officer Berglund is here. Your Honor, my position at this point is to request a short continuance in this case. The basis being I rely on the Judicial Information System, or JABS, review that information relevant to the particular case. Within the last 20 minutes, the JABS database has gone down. Oh.
And do you take a position on the representative of Mr. Moore appearing in his stead this morning for purposes of the hearing?
Your Honor, ultimately, the city would defer to the court on whether or not the individual is present is allowed to act on behalf of the defendant. To cut to the chase, Your Honor, this sounds like it might be a sovereign citizen type of situation. I don't know if the individual that is seated here is in fact the defendant, or if he is a completely separate person, separate and apart from the defendant that was pulled over at the time this incident took place. So that is a red flag, so to speak, or a question mark that does get raised in the city's mind, for which the city does believe that a further inquiry by the court may be appropriate. But ultimately, Your Honor, with regards to any representation, city will defer to the court.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gunderson. So, sir, I'm going to ask you to identify yourself for the record, please.
I am one of the people.
I'm sorry?
One of the people.
Okay. Are you or have you been previously named or identified by the state of Washington as Sherman Moore?
I am not Sherman Moore,
Okay.
the entity in which you speak of.
Okay. And do you have any relationship to Sherman Moore?
I am just the beneficiary of that name.
Okay. Well, the problem that we have here is that at this point, based upon the record that I have before me, sir, you are not authorized to represent Mr. Moore as an attorney in this matter because you are not a licensed attorney by the state of Washington. And at this point in time, based on the record, Mr. Moore has not appeared in...
Oh, he's right here, sir. Sherman Moore is right here. The name in which you speak, he is right here, sir.
Well, that, for the record, you're holding up a piece of paper.
Yes, the document, Sherman Moore, the entity in which you speak of, and one in which you tend, or this court intends to charge. So I am just the beneficiary of said entity. That is all. And that's why I'm here. So basically, I'm trying to find out the nature of said charges that pertain to said name.
Sure, certainly.
Is this a criminal or a civil matter is what I'm trying to figure out here, sir.
This is a civil matter. So Sherman Moore, or an individual identified as Sherman Moore, was issued an infraction here in the city of Lakewood on September 5th, 2024, and was ordered to respond to the issuance of that infraction, which it appears that he did, and requested a contested hearing in which he is asking to challenge the evidentiary sufficiency of the information relied upon by the issuing officer who issued the infractions or the issuance of those infractions. But by requesting that hearing, Mr. Moore, or the individual who was issued the infraction named Sherman Moore, indicated that he would appear in person as a living person here in court. And the problem that I have at this point in time is that based upon the record that I have before the court, Mr. Moore has not appeared as a living, breathing human being in this court in response to his request for a hearing.
I am simply just a man on the land that is here on behalf of that name as the beneficiary for that name.
I understand that. But at this point,
There's a claim being made. So therefore, like I said, I'm just here to understand the nature. You say it's a civil. So where is the verified complainant for said charges?
the verified complainant is the City of Lakewood, represented by the attorney on behalf of the city, who is seated in the courtroom to your left, appearing down to my right. And Mr. Gunderson, I'm just going to ask you to formally identify yourself for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Will Gunderson, prosecuting for the city. I am licensed to practice law in the state of Washington. My bar number is 46991.
So the plaintiff in this case is the City of Lakewood. They are appearing here this morning through counsel, or this afternoon through counsel. It also appears that the officer who issued the infraction to Mr. Moore is also present in court in response to the subpoena that was issued for his appearance. It appears that the only individual who has failed to appear for this hearing is the respondent, Sherman Moore. And so at this point in time, with the matter having been on the calendar at 10:30 a.m., it's now 12:04 p.m. Given that Mr. Sherman Moore has not appeared in person for this hearing, pursuant to the rules for infractions in Washington courts, the court will find that Mr. Moore has failed to appear and will enter a finding of committed to each of the 5 infractions. And I believe that concludes our court's calendar for today. So thank you all very much. At this point in time, the court will be at recess.
Understood, Judge.
Oh yeah, I'll do it in the, yep.
All rise. Court is in recess.
So are we continuing or what's? Based off of what grounds of what?
Mr. Moore did not appear.
Sherman Moore is here. I am the man of the Moore, Sherman of the Moore family. I am not the entity in which you speak of. What? What kind of charade show is going on here? So what happens now? I have to file an appeal? Okay. So I'm being railroaded. So the officer never had to show or anything, basically on the basis that so the witness or the subpoena I never got to cross-examine.